Hello and welcome to another session of Path to Abundance live show. आपको ये लगता होगा कि I come across with new guest and every time bring a new guest, it creates a spark in your mind that how we can improve the life. Today we are taking this show to a next level where you can create the ideas in your mind into a book. Yes, into a book. Everyone says that book writing is very difficult and we cannot write a book. But today, the guest which we have is a book writing coach, right? She is a PhD and has written a book on how to do the fast track PhD. She's the author of fast track PhD and has a this book has become an Amazon best-selling book. She's a non-fiction author coach and founder of the Inspire Hub, where she works with professionals to help them write serious non-fiction books that build long-term authority. So welcome, Vanshi ma'am, Dr. Vanshree Agarwal, and pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Ravi ji. It's being an honor and opportunity to be with you and your esteemed audience tonight.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I have the privilege and honor to introduce you to all my audience watching live on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. My first question will be, how has been your journey? What you do and why you do? What has been the uh, journey so far till now? Just give us in a brief introduction that what is all about.
Sure. So, uh, what I'll do is I'll cut this across three parts.
Yeah,
As you
sure.
said, what
Yes,
I do, then why I do what I do, and what has been my journey up till here.
yes,
So,
yes,
right away, starting with what I do.
yes.
So, as you introduced me, in very simple words, I help you write a nonfiction book. And
Okay.
you can call me a nonfiction author coach.
Yes,
Okay. So, what do I do as a nonfiction author coach? I help professionals, be it coaches, consultants, educators, clinicians, or leaders, convert their lived experience into a structured book that
mhm,
can stand with you over the years and doesn't fade away in a week or so after writing.
okay.
So that is about what I do.
Okay.
Now, briefly, when the term nonfiction comes to your mind, you
Mm.
would like to understand what is it, Vanshri ma'am, that you are talking about. So
Yes.
briefly, we can divide the book universe into fiction and nonfiction.
Okay.
Fiction would be your sci-fi, fantasy, romance, adventure, and
Yes.
thrillers.
Yes.
And nonfiction would be something which is dealing with history, politics,
Yes.
science, and more so in today's terms, it is more about productivity, finance, self-help, business book.
Yes. Yes.
So that is about nonfiction book. Now,
Okay.
what are the formats of a nonfiction book that one can consider writing?
Yes.
They could be autobiography, a memoir, a
Yes.
list of, say, reports,
Mm.
narrative nonfiction, or you can say some analysis that you want to do.
Okay. Okay.
Fine. Now, as I pitched in the heading of the topic, what are the challenges that come across a
Yes.
professional who has had so many years of their lived experience?
Right.
So now, one fine day, they said, okay, so many things are in my mind. I
Hmm.
want to write a book on this.
Yes.
So what are the key challenges that are faced by them?
Yes.
As we are saying, they are professionals having a long lived experience history. So, of
Absolutely.
course, the amount of content or experience, interactions, to say in a nutshell, the material that they have in hand is
Hmm.
so much. Now,
Hmm.
how to distill that in a book format.
Yes.
That is challenge number one.
Yes.
Challenge number two that comes across them is stemming from challenge number one. Since
Okay.
you have so much of experience,
Yes.
interactions, talks, discussions over the years through
Yes.
which you have been associated with your
Yes.
arena, you tend to overthink when you want to write your book.
यस यस ये
What
सही होगा नहीं होगा इट विल ये लोगों को पसंद आएगा नहीं आएगा सो वी हैव सो मच ऑफ इम्पोस्टर सिंड्रोम के पता नहीं हम सही कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं
and lots beyond that as well, because the lived experience is so much what should go where, so what happens is you go into an overthinking mode, but it is understructured because there is
ओके
not a proper plan of how to go about it.
हम्म
And why so? A sense of overwhelm then creeps up because your lived experience is a natural one. But that converting into a book format doesn't come naturally.
ओके
Fine. Now, moving to the third challenge
यस
ahead in this journey. Since you have had that experience, you want to put it in a book, you are in a
हम्म
state of confusion, you have that material.
यस
Now, along with all this, you have multiple engagements in daily life.
यस
So, in the absence of a system, what happens is there is a thought in the mind and you want to write it, but you are so engaged and busy throughout the day. You feel I will
यस
write it on the weekend or
यस
when I'm traveling, when I'm in the car. Some
यस
notes, if you are old school like me, then some jotted down in your diary at the
यस
back of your report, or
यस
if you are very tech savvy, you've narrated it to the AI, you've, kept it somewhere or
यस
scribbled on your notepad or computers.
यस
At the end of few months, what happens is the material is scattered. You've
यस
forgotten. You
यस
can't take stock of where it was.
आप पूरी
Then
मेरी स्टोरी बता रहे हो
That's very surprising, Raviji. That is what has happened, generally happens as I
यस
come across professionals. And
यस
kyunki the material is so diverse and so much, and then
यस
it spreads because the motivation then walks away. You find
राइट
that, oh my God, this is going to be so different. 100 things are scattered in this universe. How do I put them together? I do not have time. Rehne do bhai.
राइट
That's the kind of syndrome that comes up, that
यस
since it's going to be so difficult, let me
हम्म
not go ahead with it.
हम्म
Okay. So writing in fragmented time becomes your problem number three.
राइट
Coming to then problem number four.
हम्म
I'm just listing the very, primary challenges. There are
हम्म
a n number of challenges that I'm not going into very deep into
राइट
them, but just the very primary ones that hit you. And then what happens is, after you've encountered all these three, challenge number
यस
four that comes across you is you come across fast publishing and you confuse it with authority builder book writing.
यस
So you say, okay, I see this shiny ad. It is asking me to publish in 7 days. Fine, it will be over. My pain of, wanting to do something would be addressed once and for all. Baba, let me
यस
get inside that, get it done over with, and then move away.
राइट
Fine. You pitch your money into that, your time into that, you get a product. Then when you look at it, you realize, oh, but this has become some sort of a PDF or a short bulleted workbook. It is not bringing out my authority in the format that I wanted to.
यस
It has become so compressed that it is not talking about my lived experience,
यस
which no PDF or AI can bring to the fore.
यस और आजकल तो नया फैशन चला है कि चैट जीपीटी जेमिनाई से प्रॉम्प्ट डालो बुक निकालो और छाप दो
So that is generally what fast publishing also tells you about.
ओके
You know. So again, that your authority gets stifled, it gets relegated to the back, and that
यस
book that you wanted to share with the world, projecting you as a thought leader in your niche doesn't come out
ओके
because of all those challenges that we just discussed. So
Right.
what happens is if your goal is just getting visibility, speed would be a good idea. But if you want to build a thought leadership in your area, then of course, more thought and structure would go into it. And that is what I do and bring to the system.
Okay.
Okay.
So you help bring, first of all, clarity to a busy working professional like me on what should be the right topic, what should be the right idea, and how it can become in a good structure.
I'll, partly true. I'll go into it later on as I describe the system. Right
Okay.
now, I have just managed to scrape through the basic challenges that a
Hmm.
professional who has that deep dream of not bringing out only a bulleted list, but a deep authority book.
Okay.
So, what are the challenges faced by them? Okay. Now, coming to what you are asking me, how to craft a book that surpasses these
Before
challenges.
that, I want to know your journey. I want to know little bit more details that how ये idea कैसे आया? Because this is a totally कोई सोच ही नहीं सकता कि to become a non fiction book and एक होता बुक कोच. आपने अपने आप को डिफाइन करा. You have defined yourself as a non fiction book writing coach. How did this idea come to your mind, and how did you started your journey, your career after like graduation? Like I want to know from the beginning.
Okay, Raviji, I'll bring then the third part of my talk right away to part two as you want to know about it. Raviji, I'll be brief in this segment because then a lot has to be said about things.
Yes.
My primary reason of coming to non-fiction author coaching and becoming a coach starts way back from the journey which began when I began to think about writing my own book. Way
Okay.
back in 2020-21, I had completed my PhD in public policy.
Right.
And I had done primary research going into the slums of Delhi and working on Swachh Bharat mission and the problems therein for the slum dwellers. Now,
Yes.
what happens is in our academic circles, if your research is very deep rooted and it is done in the
Right.
field, there
Hmm.
are two types of research. One which is done in field, the other
Hmm.
which is done happening through library. Mine was the difficult one route taken because I love to do. And I said, this is the last moment. After PhD, you won't get that chance. So
Hmm.
once I did that research, then the normal parlance is convert your own thesis to a book. That is how
Hmm.
it is taken in the academic circles.
Right.
I sat thinking about it, and since it was 2021, 22, the COVID years, I had more time at hand to think about it. What
Yes.
I was seeing is, I said, yeah, it's okay that I convert my research into a book, but would
Hmm.
there be many takers for this book? There would
Yes.
be a very selected niche,
Yes.
researchers or people related to policy, sanitation, city urban planning who would be wanting to read that book.
Hmm.
But that angst, as you say, that pain in me, which
Hmm.
was there since having gone through that entire PhD process, and I
Yes.
completed my own PhD in 3 years.
Yes.
That was,
3 years.
kind of, yeah,
लोगों
3
को
years.
5 5 6 6 7 साल takes so many years to complete the PhD, and you completed in 3 years. Wow.
Absolutely, Raviji. That is why that book came directly from my lived experience.
Okay. Great.
I had to
Awesome.
actually wait for a few days because until unless I could complete the 3 year deadline, it wouldn't have been, officially possible to submit my PhD. So
Okay. Okay.
I did it in less than 3 years, but then I had to wait a little. And
Wow.
that too with field research. So yeah,
Awesome.
thanks for the compliment. It definitely was a big achievement.
Okay.
So going forward on this, then what came to my mind was let me stay a little bit in converting the research and think about whether I can write on something as to can you also do this PhD in 3 years? Because
Hmm.
what was the pain that I had experienced during the PhD was you have to hit 100 roadblocks. Though you have an official guide, still he cannot devote that much of time to you to help you or handhold you through the many systems through which you have to pass. You have
Yes.
to research, write, do field notes. There is n number of things that has to be done.
Yes.
And there is no availability of deep handheld support in that. And as you
Right.
rightly pointed out, people take so many years completing that research, often they become suicidal, and the life takes a very different turn because of
Yes.
that lack of support.
Yes.
And yeah, AI has come, but of course, I would say it does not solve all that problem, because still the Indian systems are, they are made in a very different way, and it's very university specific.
Yes.
So it takes such a hell lot of a time. That idea was kind of formulating in my mind when I was in two minds as to what should go in my book. I
Okay.
already had a PhD writing experience,
Hmm.
and I have been, associated with the policy, teaching, research, and educating space. So
Hmm.
writing in long form content has been my forte since the last 2 decades.
Hmm.
And I'm an English literature graduate and a university topper, so the language and grammar part is also taken care of. I
Yes.
had research background. So if you try to tick mark any boxes, all the boxes were initially tick marked. If you
Okay.
think that these are
Yeah.
the ones, I'm not saying these
Hmm.
are all required, but if some thought comes that, oh, this might be required, this might be required, all the tick boxes were getting ticked.
Hmm. Hmm.
When I have all these things, it should be very easy for me to convert my thing into a book.
Yes.
But then, taking again back the viewers to the first challenge that I said, when you
Yeah.
have so much of material available, how should it go into a book?
Yes.
Because a book is not just translating something in language, it is about
Hmm.
nurturing a reader's journey.
Yes.
That doesn't happen automatically. So,
Yes.
someone in my shoes was also finding it very difficult to make it happen.
Okay.
Cut to 2022 or 2023, when I came across a ad from a publishing house which
Hmm.
was promising, okay, write your book in X number of days with us, earn this, some sort of promise.
Hmm.
Now it appealed to me. I entered the program. And the way the program was structured, and they were telling us about the publishing industry, and I didn't know so much about it, seemed very credible and believable to me. So I took the highest package on offer and was very happy that now my book would be becoming a reality.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now what happens? Now I start the system and I'm waiting for some cue from them as to where should I begin writing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now nothing is coming from their side. It took
Okay.
me many months to realize that they were not going to give any writing support at all.
Acha.
So what support they were going to give
So
was
what they'll charge
publishing.
then? Yes. They'll charge a good amount for publishing only.
Yeah. So, and a lot many other things as well. But I mean, uh, I felt very naive in not knowing the difference between writing, publishing, printing, branding, positioning. Now, sitting
Yes.
as a coach, I understand these are so many things.
Yes.
But going forward, what is the basic seed which will
Hmm.
bring out the fruit? That is writing.
Yes.
No support came from that side. One
Okay.
fine day, I decided, Baba, you are yourself a PhD thesis writer. You've just completed it. Now, when you have decided the topic, let me think about it as to,
Hmm.
let me sit with my own PhD, think of what were the problems that I went through, what can be the solutions, and can I come up with a system that helps break the difficulties into doable parts and handhold the reader, or say the scholar, the researcher who wants to come in the system, so that beginning from the time that that idea strikes, should I do a
Hmm.
PhD, should I not do it, from that time till the submission of the thesis in the
Hmm.
physical format, until the time that he gets his degree, let us
Hmm.
draft a system.
Yes.
because there is none existing as such. You have
Yes.
to meander through your own ways.
Yes.
I started sending chapters. They would say, okay, we have received the chapter.
Hmm.
I will think some feedback is going to come. Nothing was
No,
happening.
none.
Nothing was happening. So it was then that I realized that, okay, they had packaged the publishing services and made us believe that we would be able to do wonders. But the
Hmm.
baseline seed, that is the writing mechanism, was totally non existent because they were
Hmm.
not competent to handle it. To
Yes.
handle somebody's thinking and condensed it in a book form, you need to be competent to hold it. It's not their
Yes.
fault. They're a publishing company. You
Yes.
give them the manuscript, they will begin the procedure.
Yes.
But in advertising that, I got gullible. I was
They,
naive.
they
I
they
didn't
don't have
understand
any
that.
say. They don't help you in
Write the
refining or
product. Yeah.
planning for the content.
Exactly. So
Hmm.
you give them the content and fine, then it gets to them and it will come in a
Hmm.
printed form. But how do I go about that printed format? It will go to the print when I have devised it, when I have written
Hmm.
it. That
Hmm.
itself was not happening. So since
Yeah.
I had that experience, I was ticking all the right boxes.
Hmm.
Still, it took me 1 full year
Oh.
to just compile the entire book. Why? Because of the all four challenges that I told you. I didn't
Okay.
have any system by which I would know, how to
Hmm.
condense all that. I didn't have a proper structure. So then
Hmm.
I had to work on my own structure as to, how many
Hmm.
chapters will come in, what will go where, what should not be told. If I begin to tell my own sob story, it will
Hmm.
become quite pathetic.
Yes.
I didn't want it to be, Rona Dhuna filmy style stuff. Yeah,
Right.
everybody's PhD journey is, personal to them and it
Hmm.
is difficult in their own way. So I didn't want to relate my troubles. There are n number of reasons behind them. I don't want to find fault with the system, with the guide, or other components of the system. They are there, they
Okay.
are doing their work. That's okay. So it was not supposed to be my story. It was supposed to
Hmm.
be a system that could help each and every researcher going forward.
Okay.
It took 1 full year despite I knowing my reader, the journeys, everything I had. But still, since I didn't have any writing support, it took me 1 year to write the book.
Hmm.
Finally, it took more time to publish it. It came out. But since the content was very well planned by me, and it was
Hmm.
coming from my lived experience, it was so well received by the researchers and the professors alike that today going forward, I get to know even my daughter's college, she's gone to college now, her professors reading it or complimenting her that, beta,
Wow.
we've read your mother's book.
श्योर वंडरफुल ऑसम ये तो बहुत ही बढ़िया चीज बताई आपने दैट people are recommending your work and real success happens after that only when other people start recommending your work and other people start recommending you to their network to their contacts that yes this person is good you should get in touch with him or her and get the solution for your problem so
They
coming to
might
the
have
next
come, yeah, they might have come across the book online only.
yeah
And then they told another person who was doing their PhD. So from word of mouth, it spread. Why? Because I
hmm.
was not heavy on marketing. You can think it's an anomaly also. There's nothing bad in going, good about it. But if the content is good, if it
Hmm.
coming from your lived reality and it
Yes.
is giving value to the reader, then the book
Hmm.
is going to stand the test of time.
Right. Okay.
It is
Got it.
then that, Raviji, I realized that I had so much of trouble. Now, this
Hmm.
is a core non-fiction book, a
Yes.
self-help kind of a book for researchers who are
Hmm.
looking for a system somewhere if they can lay their hands on. And
Yes.
many people, told me that, okay, they stopped from making a mistake after reading the first two chapters or the second page. Or, I mean, the stories that I put in were coming from real life. So
Hmm.
much so it got mirrored in actual people's reality that it was like, a goosebumps moment all this while.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
then when the thought came. When you say, why you are doing what you are doing, that is where I got the answer. Going ahead, I had achieved my goal. The book
Hmm.
had become a good success. Everything was going fine, but I could feel that pain distinctly. Many people asked me also how we can, convert our experience
Hmm.
into a book. And
Hmm.
that is when I realized, okay, nonfiction space has opened up quite well for professionals in India going forward because of such online
Hmm.
programs and publishing, which is helping more people to become authors.
Yes. Yes.
But in the absence of a proper structure, they would also have to go through the pain that I did.
Okay.
And
So
you can see
right
I am
now,
coming from a writing and research background, still this much is what is happening to me. If somebody is not coming from that background, you can imagine the horrors. They will say, क्यों ही
yes.
लिखना है फिर? They will just
हाँ.
let it go, na?
यस, टाइम ही नहीं है लोगों के पास. लोग 15 सेकंड की रील में बोर हो जाते हैं. So how, why they will write a book which is 100 or 150 pages? पहले कौन इतना पेन लेगा कि we have to write a book, and then we have to edit the manuscript, then the flow, the structure, and then publish it, self publish it, and then do the marketing, and then do the sales. So such
It
hell
becomes
lot of
so
work.
heavy, exactly, that people say there's no need to go about it.
Yes.
No. But if you are somebody who's done that, my advice going ahead would be, I won't be saying come to my system. No, go to a
Mm.
system that achieves your goals.
Yes.
Because there are two types of books happening. One is the visibility one is the authority builder.
Yes.
If you just want to use your book as a calling card in some conference, you can go with fast publishing.
Hmm.
But if you want an authority book,
Hmm.
something that can stand the test of time,
Hmm.
like they say, जीवन के साथ भी जीवन के बाद भी.
Yes.
If you want your authority to be positioned in that format, that will take a little time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that will be a different type of book as well. Why?
Hmm.
Because then it will be standing not only in your conference rooms, but it will project you as a thought leader
Hmm.
across policy roundtables, leadership conclaves, seminar rooms, but higher thought builders as a leader in your industry.
Hmm.
And your thinking would be evident through the book. It's
Right.
not just 3 steps to do this, 5 ways to not do this. This is
Hmm.
not what you are building. When you're going in depth with how a problem is to be dealt, people see how you think.
Yes.
That is a proof
How
of your
how
experience.
clear you are in your viewpoint.
And more than that, how it is helping me. As you can say,
Hmm.
if I am your reader, I will say what is in it for me. So if you have come to my pain point and you are able
Yes.
to address it, and
Yes.
I don't have to reinvent that wheel, that will be like a gold mine of experience for me. Why shouldn't I learn
Yes.
from that and go forward? And I do not have to expend so many years as you have done in your field.
Yes.
That is what an authority builder book is, and that
Hmm.
is where I come up. So
Thank you
we've
so much.
completed two paths as to what
Yes.
I do and what is my journey.
Yes.
Coming back to how I do it, a
Yes.
little bit about that now. So,
Yes.
for that, first of all, we go into what is required to solve those challenges which a
Hmm.
professional feels. From that only, we'll get an answer to that. For
Yeah.
that, I'll deal that in three parts, Raviji. When it
Okay.
comes to building up a authority book, what
Hmm.
should it do is, I call it placing the clarity troika.
Hmm.
There is a clarity troika that should be made clear going forward. What is it? It's your reader, problem,
Hmm.
promise.
Hmm.
Who is the one particular segment of reader whom you are addressing?
Yes.
What is the type of problem that or pain point that you want to solve for them?
Hmm.
And what is the promise of a solution or of a breakthrough that you are bringing in your own personal way.
Okay.
What is your USP of solving that pain point for that segment of the reader?
Yes.
So, for example, if you are a business coach and you want to say, okay, I want to write a book for entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
good enough. If it's a general book, fine, that can be one type of content. If
Hmm.
it's you are writing to solve one particular problem, then I'll say, let us clarify, who do you mean by entrepreneurs? Are they first generation businessmen, or they
Hmm.
are startup founders,
Micro
or they
niche.
are legacy ones? In case you are dealing with a particular set of problems.
Right.
In case you are not, we can go for a normal one and a generic audience as well.
Hmm.
But that clarity should be there. You may or may not go into the micro niche, but then your goal for the book should be very, very clear.
Okay.
Secondly, when you say, okay, I am trying to solve this problem of how this segment of, say, startup founders or legacy businessmen should scale up their businesses. So
Hmm.
then there would be some 5 points, which you are trying to solve in
Hmm.
your own particular way. What is your USP in that?
Hmm.
Some life's
How
experiences.
how you are different from others? Why people will read your book, your idea, your story?
Why through your story you are building up a solution
Yes.
and
Absolutely.
helping them come to terms with that, apply some new technology as well, and be quicker in the gains that they want to.
Hmm.
Now going ahead, you said, okay, you can say, okay ma'am, this troika is now clear to me.
Hmm.
That is going ahead solving challenge in one way. Then comes the second part of how should a structure be built to solve this, because the structure can be of very many times. I
Hmm.
just through an example helped you understand how we can build a problem and solution structure. Maybe
Hmm.
your structure, I mean, the book topic or content is such that it requires a timeline. You start at one point and you traveled across, and that arc is built up. That can
Hmm.
be another type of structure.
Yes.
Then it can be a thematic one as well. There are
Hmm.
various themes in your book, and that is how you are helping solve something or bringing a breakthrough. So,
Hmm.
how do you even decide how to structure your book? There are so many structures
Yes.
available. How would you
Yes.
then know? Then, going forward, how many chapters should be there? Then, if you are sticking to the problem and solution one, in how many chapters should you be defining the problem? And when should you decide that now I will bring the solution in? Or would you
Hmm.
be doing it in every chapter? How do you take all these decisions?
Yes.
That is why I say that, writing a book is not a primarily intellectual, uh, you can say, work. It's
Hmm.
an emotional one as well.
Yes.
Why so? Because when you start taking all these decisions and solving these challenges, you go back in time. You redefine your own frameworks on
Hmm.
which you worked. You then question your own clarity
Hmm.
and you re-derive that clarity which was missing perhaps even in you.
Yes.
Then going forward, you take that subject. And to take that in an emotional way requires that space and time. So
Great.
something very deep happens to us also when we begin to think of our own systems. Though all these
Yes.
years we thought, Are, we are perfect in that, we are experts of
Yes.
this arena. When you
Yes.
start writing about your own system in a
Hmm.
way that is helping to solve a challenge or bringing a
Hmm.
breakthrough, something very deep happens inside us also.
Hmm.
And something of this sort happened with one of my clients who was a senior business coach. Initially, he used to be very jittery because he thought, oh, I know everything about my own system.
Hmm.
As he went down to writing, he realized he ended up changing his own business, his coaching model, his books. There were two or
Oh,
three happening. Entire thing got changed.
okay.
He was speechless after that. It was such a big transformation. He said, Vanshri, this clarity came up when I began writing my chapters. Then I realized where that lack of clarity was impinging me. And that
Hmm.
is why he was, despite the discussions, he wasn't feeling happy.
Hmm.
Post that clarity, his inner being shifted. He
Yes.
was at complete peace because the entire system had got clarified.
Okay.
So, such big transformations can happen when you're doing a deep authority book.
Wow.
And going forward, the third part to this would be a consistent and handheld format of writing. That is the way to complete a big authority book that can
Okay.
stand the test of time.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much, Vanshi ma'am. Thank you for enlightening our viewers and like throwing so much of information and light on such an important topic. Because I would request to all the people who is watching this that if you have an idea in your mind, then yes, you can do it alone. I am not saying that you can't do it alone. But once you have a mentor, na, your speed gets accelerated. अभी आप गाड़ी 20 की स्पीड पे चला रहे हो, 30 की स्पीड पे 40 की स्पीड पे चला लोगे. But once you have a mentor be your side, then your speed will be increased. And I always say in my personal finance coaching space, consulting space as well, okay, in the age of this AI and the Gemini and the Chat GPT, why a human to human interaction is revolved? Because accountability is missing with these AIs. They will not come to you looking for कि भैया आपने चैप्टर लिखा नहीं लिखा है, आपने SIP शुरू करा है, आपने स्टॉक में पैसे डाला नहीं डाला. But once you have a mentor and a consultant or guide coach along your side, they will bring the accountability to you that I have given you this task. Have you completed it or not?
Very true, Raviji. And beyond the layer of providing accountability that
Hmm.
many people can do, even perhaps AI systems might be tweaked to provide you that. You may be,
Hmm.
putting that daily into that. Beyond that, clarity and depth of thinking,
Hmm.
along with a physical mentor, does much more than an AI assistant can do. We are
Hmm.
just at the end of the AI summit that has converged into Delhi. And
Hmm.
of course, AI can be used as an assistant, but that cannot supplant your voice. It has
Yes.
not been through the problems and challenges that you have been through,
Yes.
due to which you have crafted your expertise or system. And that is why, when you will decide to address your reader, it will have the weight that an AI system cannot. The
Yes.
stories that you bring, the examples that you bring,
Yes.
that is your USP, which AI can assist but not replace.
Yes. Same way जैसे अब जब इंटरनेट आया था, when internet had come, it has revolutionized the whole area of work.
Absolutely.
6 years behind 2018-19, yes, Zoom was there, but
Mhm.
not as widely used as
Right?
is being used today. So every new tool, every new breakthrough, every new invention is aiding your life to become smarter and smoother. But it cannot replace you. And people who are fearful or fearing of AI, मैं यही बोलता हूँ कि जब पहले लाइट नहीं थी, सो वी यूज टू हम लालटेन यूज करते थे, राइट. बट लाइट आए और उस टाइम पे हम फेयरफुल होते थे कि अरे ये जो लालटेन मैन्युफैक्चरर है इनका क्या होगा.
बिल्कुल.
Then the car came. Then we used to fear the bullock, what will happen to the bullock carts and all that. So AI will be there. It is there to help you as a tool, but it will not take your thing. So whoever is watching, I would strongly urge, जो भी आपके thoughts, patterns, ideas यहाँ पे चल रहे हैं, mind में चल रहे हैं, start writing it down. You never know. 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, you can contact Vanshri ma'am
Sure.
to write your book and
Absolutely.
become a best-selling author. I am also
Uh,
procrastinating on writing my book from last 1.5, 2 years. And Vanshi ma'am has told me many times that you have such a great idea on the retirement planning and the corpus. And and I'm just procrastinating that I don't have time. But
I can understand,
today's
Raviji. Today,
podcast will be a reminder for me.
absolutely. So many things might have got cleared for you also. And I would say getting a bestseller tag can be a good thing in itself, but we need to see beyond that if we want to craft an authority book,
Yes.
because that stands the test of time.
Yes.
My contact details would be shared by Raviji. I run the Inspire Hub where I say I help you to inspire your readers through the ink of
Yes.
your words. So that
Yes.
is the thought behind the Inspire Hub. If you
Yes.
wish to come to it, the contact details are there with
Yes.
Raviji sharing it. And most
Yes.
welcome to come to it if it resonates. If
Yes.
your goal becomes coterminous with the kind of authority held books that I am bringing to the fore. If it
Yes.
doesn't, there are so many other systems available.
Sure. Thank
All
you
the
so
best
much,
to
ma'am.
all of them. And thank you so much,
Thank
Raviji, for having me tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming and throwing your information and light on this important topic. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
friend,
Pleasure.
thank you. So, friends, I hope you have liked the today's episode and you would have got some ideas why writing a book is so important. Why starting to write is very much important. आप चाहे you start writing with one page only. In 365 days, you will have 365 pages. ठीक है बट इतनी लंबी कोई बुक पढ़ता नहीं सो आई वुड सजेस्ट स्टार्ट डूइंग whether it is a 5 minute walk, whether it is a 500 SIP, or whether it is a 5 minute meditation, or whether it is a 5 lines for your book. You can start and you can change your life very easily. With this thought, thank you so much for watching. Thanks a lot. Thank you.